15 years later, the lives of the heroes of Flight 93 are beautifully honored here at the Flight 93 National Memorial in Shanksville.
It is the result of extraordinary cooperation over more than a decade, and the work continues today. As we visited often, we were struck by how many have contributed, not just time and money, but love to preserving the legacy of these brave passengers and crew. The contrast is striking. Towers of stone rising out of fields of trees and waving grass.
This is actually the flight path of the plane. If you walk straight out, you walk straight out to the end out here, you have a dramatic view down at the crash site.
But first,
right through these walls is the visitor center. I'd always encourage people to start there. It actually just opened last September.
This is the work of terrorism.
It is the culmination of a process that occurred in record time. A little over 1 year after Flight 93 crashed here in Shanksville, Congress had passed legislation to make it a national memorial. It was unprecedented.
It was very clear with this that no one doubted the importance of this or the role that it played in the history of this country on the 10th anniversary.
Early on, Jeff Reinbold headed the planning and design oversight, knowing that the beauty of the natural environment would play an important role in the choice of an architect.
Paul Murdoch, the architect who won, understood that his architecture and what he would introduce would really frame the site, but in no way would compete with it.
Initially, Pittsburgh area foundations, corporations, and sports teams contributed. But meeting the $60 million price tag and completing the Memorial Plaza and Wall of Names by the 10th anniversary would take a nationwide grassroots effort. And a nation responded with respect for these extraordinary heroes.
There were 110,000 individual donors to the Flight 93 Memorial, 110,000 and growing.
What is most rewarding to me out of that entire effort is that memorial is funded, yes, by some major donations, but a whole lot of $40 and $93 donations.
40 for the 40 brave souls whose voices visitors can hear.
I love you and I hope I can talk to you soon.
Visitors will find the exhibit moving, but not sensational, riveting, but factual.
They get the sense that there was a unique set of passengers and crew members on the plane. There was a unique group of people that had the ability, had the physical ability, had the resolve to make this decision.
By the time they made their calls to loved ones, they found out what was going on. So they had some information that the people on the other flights didn't.
Tom McMillan, former sports writer, currently a vice president of the Pittsburgh Penguins, is an avid student of American history. So much so, he has written one of the definitive books on Flight 93 and its passenger rebellion against the hijackers.
To do what they did in 30 minutes, to put that all together, to figure it out, to come up with a plan, and to try to retake the plane was one of the most momentous events, I think, in American history.
The book also details the hijackers' plot and salutes the local community's response.
And the bond between the families and the people of Somerset County is one that won't be broken.
And they changed.
Liddell Lichty understands that. A founding board member of the Friends of Flight 93, she remembers the families the day the visitor center opened.
I can't tell you how many times they say thank you throughout the day. Thank you for taking care of our family. Thank you for taking care of this memorial. Thank you for just the sense of pride when we come here.
Flight 11 in bold at the upper left.
Donna Glessner is the founder of the Ambassador Volunteer Program here and the memorial's oral historian. She was a Somerset representative on the federal commission that helped create the park.
Just all very moving to find that the work that so many people put into planning the memorial has come to fruition and can be shared now with the people of the world.
It's precious.
Debbie Borza agrees. The mother of Diora Bodley, the youngest passenger on Flight 93.
I'm happy to have you.
She's now active with the Friends of Flight 93. But initially, Borza didn't want to share her daughter or her grief with the public.
She was my daughter. I just wanted her for myself. And then it dawned on me, if I were to carry that kind of thinking on, she would die with me.
Now she helps others heal at events like this fundraising walk.
So what I found was, oh my gosh, she couldn't be in better hands than here at the Flight 93 National Memorial. She is now being taken care of by stewards And that's who National Park Rangers are. They're stewards.
Stewards of this former strip mine, now dotted with new trees, a rebirth.
That's what this memorial's about. It's to give everybody a chance to heal.
But the depth of the sacrifice of those 40 men and women can overwhelm even the most seasoned park ranger.
There are times when it'll hit you, just like now. But we have to be professionals, and we have to maintain our professional appearance, and that's what I do.
Next on Chronicle.
It's still sinking in, the horror of what we all saw today.
The day that changed everything.
No one in Somerset County and throughout the nation will ever forget.
Now we look back, the memories of 9/11, and the impact still being felt today. Next on Chronicle.